and how at certain times in our lives, at certain times in the year, certain times in the month, the week, or even the day, there's triggers that pull us into those cycles of interference. What do we need to do to pull ourselves out of those and stay on the path of high performance? Well, last week we went through task versus ego orientation. Task is also known as performance. As we stay focused on the task, that's what pulls ourselves out of those cycles of interference. It just happened to me yesterday. I had a crazy day. 3/4 of the day I was performing really well. The last quarter of the day I got some curveballs thrown at me and I got pulled into this cycle. Some curveballs that I haven't really experienced, I don't know if ever in my life, but a curveball that got thrown at me, and that's a trigger, and it pulled me into this cycle and my performance dropped off. My anxiety was going up and I didn't really feel like I ended the day on a high note. I ended up waking up about 4 o'clock in the morning with all of these thoughts about of what had happened, pulling me back to the past and getting me to worry about the future. I had to keep bringing myself back to the task of breathing. As I brought myself back to the task of breathing, I'd let go of that trigger that was pulling me out of the present, that was interfering with my performance. So every time that happened, I pulled myself back to breathing, to the task at hand. It doesn't matter what the task is. It can be pulling weeds. It can be washing dishes. It can be what you're doing at your work each day. Just bring yourself back to the task. And yes, sometimes that trigger that's pulling you into that cycle is very intense and you got to will yourself to focus on the task, but it can be done. You can do it. Stay focused on the task at hand. It'll keep you focusing on performance and you'll just keep getting healthier and happier and higher performing.